Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world in our beautiful country and how we're going to fix both of them together. And the content that I'm going to show you is an update. Apparently, when you work for FEMA and you just don't give people their benefits and don't help them during a natural disaster because they have Trump signs in the yard and you get your butt fired, you start singing and say the entire organization was under operating procedure that you don't help Trump people because we didn't feel safe. Oh, this is going to be a thing. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think, and please send this out because it is getting a little bit of traction. It needs to get more. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and guys, make sure that the YouTube monster algorithm does not abscond away with your subscription to this freedom prescription, because legitimately, we just got to make sure that they aren't accidentally unsubscribing you again, because we're noticing some aberrations in the actual following and the subscriber counts. So make sure you didn't get accidentally deleted from that, because all of a sudden it went down to 0 gained after 6 months of 200 to 500 plus a day. I don't know. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's get that ugly monstrosity out of the way and show you the goodness that we have delivered. All right, so first thing we're going to stop at is Byron Donalds. Now, you're not familiar with Byron Donalds. He is an actual Florida representative in the U.S. House of Representatives. Listen to what he said back in September, and he just posted this, about FEMA and this whole alleged operation of not helping Trump supporters. And then we're going to fast forward. This
administration, when crisis happens, we're dealing with Helene, but when crisis happens, they don't address them head on.
But you just heard from 2 governors who are grateful for everything that this administration has done.
I'm not talking about the behind the scenes.
Hang on a second. Let's not talk about generalities here, because I think it's important to be clear. Actually, everybody has said, official-wise, that they've gotten what they've asked for, right? And the only person making an accusation that people are not getting what they've asked for is Trump, falsely claiming that the administration is withholding resources because of political affiliation. That is just not true.
As somebody who has been through now 3 hurricanes in my district, I will tell you, getting a call saying you can have everything you need and some of the initial help coming from FEMA is one thing. It is the day-by-day follow-up, making sure that stuff is implemented on the ground, is something completely different. And I've been through this on the ground in my own district.
That's not the point she's making.
But the point,
right. I mean, I just want to be clear. That is.
But Abby,
I'm talking about we're 5 days after this has happened.
Yeah.
Right at this moment, the question is: are these areas getting what they need from the federal government? Is the answer yes or no?
The question I will tell you is the answer I will give you is unconclusive. They have it initially. The reason why I say that is because you have to have a commander-in-chief who has his finger or her finger on the pulse day in, day out to make sure the agencies are doing that work.
I want to remind everybody.
That's why leadership is critical.
Okay. So obviously you saw CNN and the entire panel jumping on Byron Donalds, saying that is insane. They would never do that. Again, wait till I show you the interview of the actual whistleblower. But all of a sudden, a few little weeks go by and this drops.
This is not isolated. This is a colossal event of avoidance, not just in the state of Florida, but you will find avoidance in the Carolinas. Senior leadership will lie to you and tell you that they do not know. But if you ask the DSA crew leads and specialists what they are experiencing in the field, they will tell you. Demand for FEMA to give you those incident reports.
That's weird. You know who that was? That was the actual individual who was discriminating from FEMA support from Trump supporters because they had Trump signs. You think that was just an excerpt out of context? Let's jump over to the actual thing, and then I'll show you what the Florida AG is doing, because the AGs are stepping up. This is an actual clip from a show a couple days ago that shows Marnie Washington. I think her name is Marnie Washington. Hold on, let me verify for the record. Yeah, Marnie Washington, right there. Marnie Washington says that FEMA is lying and says she was simply taking orders from the higher up about the whole discrimination against Trump supporters in FEMA in the national disaster area. Let's jump into it.
So if you turned in reports to your supervisors that state political hostility for the people in the field, those reports exist.
Yes, hence why I also sent you screenshots where they're deleting files now from my computer. So FEMA says they fired me, but I still have access to the systems and their applications. And while I was in an interview yesterday, I noticed that my files were being deleted in my name, and I could not have been doing that while I was talking to Madison. So FEMA is very well aware of the incidents that take place, not just with my crew, but with all of the crews in the state that's declared. And instead of just saying, hey, this is how we're going to mitigate it to protect our people, they decided to fire me and make sure Donald Trump knows that they are loyal to him because they fear retribution.
All right. So it's one of two things. Either she did this on her own and she's now caught, and therefore she's blaming her higher up so she can not be disgraced and basically never hireable again, which is completely viable. It's possible. Or she's telling the truth and she's a whistleblower. It's one of those two. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments field below. But she's openly saying FEMA's lying, they're deleting files, and they're trying to show fealty to Trump. Now, she didn't use those words, but that's what she was expressing. She's trying to show fealty, or they're trying to show fealty to Trump to show they're on his side. That's why they're trying to do a massive cover-up, because this was standard operating procedure at FEMA. Huh. Okay, let's continue.
Important thing is here, once we start seeing a trend, for example, if they just so happen to have these Trump campaign signs in front of their home, and that's the characteristic that's coming along with that, we have to proceed with precaution. So avoidance first and then de-escalation. And that's the thing. Our superiors know that. We have constant conversations about keep your people safe. If your people are uncomfortable, then just don't go.
Okay, so this is a federal disaster management agency. Well, technically, federal emergency management agency. This is FEMA, okay? So this is under the Biden administration. This is under the White House. This is a direct responsibility under the White House umbrella. You're telling me that higher-ups looked at safety for your people and discomfort for your people, and you didn't have to help anybody as your sole mandate because they had a Trump sign? So you just avoided the entire thing and then you de-escalated? Yeah, that don't look good. And I already showed you the end of it. Now let me jump over to what the Florida AG is saying, because this is a scandal that is brewing, guys. This is a thing right here. Listen to what she has to say.
We're not going to leave it up to the federal government to do their own investigation. So this past weekend, Florida has already begun digging into this. We want to make sure that our emergency agency is looking into these details to making sure we have all of the information. We're seeking not only information from FEMA, but making sure if there are those within Florida who feel that they were overlooked or discriminated against because of their political views, that we have an understanding of that and that information. Because look, this is what folks have been saying all along, that this administration wasn't here to serve everyone, only a few. And so as we dig in, I think we're going to find that this, in fact, did happen. We're already seeing it in some of the reports and the databases, and we'll follow up accordingly.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that real quick, and then the last piece is important as well. But this is something that we shared when we had Andrew Bailey, the Missouri Attorney General, on this show. When we were talking to him about AGs standing up and actually doing something against a corrupt and overbearing White House and executive bureaucracies, all that stuff. Yeah, this AG of Florida is doing the exact same thing. I'm telling you guys, we have got a lot of freedom coming our way, and it's being led in every arena. And these AGs from red states are doing a pretty good job. But let's let her continue, because she said herself, they already have it in the databases. They already have examples. They already know. So now they're going to see how deep it goes. And the whole allegation here is this is a nationwide standard. Okay?
Are you confident that going forward, FEMA will change the course and make sure it wasn't just one employee with this bad intention?
It doesn't matter if I'm confident. What matters is if the people of the United States of America are confident. And more, we're seeing these agencies under Biden and Harris say, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here. Of course that doesn't happen. We're following our mission. And time again, we've seen them off mission, distracted, pushing funds into areas that should never have been envisioned when the agencies were created. And so I think the American people have lost a sense of trust in their institutions. Remember, whether it's DHS, Secret Service, FBI, DOJ, FEMA, these are people's institution. We, the people, gave the government their power.
Right.
We, the people, fund the government. It's our institutions. Right. And the further and further they get away from telling us the truth, doing their jobs, being accountable to their bosses, which are the people, there is a decimation of trust, and that cannot be in the United States of America, and that's what we're here to drill down on.
That was such an important piece. A decimation of trust in our institutions. How many of you feel that way? Honestly, my bet is a lot of you, because I feel that way. I don't trust our institutions because they've been politicized. So now what you're looking at is the AG standing up at a state level investigating federal bureaucracies that are basically being corrupt. FEMA's got a little hot potato on their hands right now. The more that this goes, the more I think we're going to kick over this rock and see a lot more creepy crawlies. But anyway, I'll keep you updated on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.